JD, kind of ask the momentum you guys had been building with the wins and now the 4 losses, just big picture with where you guys are at, just what do you kind of think of this now?
Today was one of those games that both teams played really good, man. It's a really good baseball game, clean game. They got the one big hit. Clean defense pretty much all the way around. They made some spectacular plays, as did we with Torres, that ball, robbing another home run. But just fell short, Again, another loss where we were probably inches away from winning that game, and then that last swing of the bat. So there was no quit in us. And look, their pitchers did a great job. When you're going in, it's a hot team, a very hot team, and a very hot pitching staff on top of that. And just really good pitch ability right-handers. They did a good job of old-fashioned pitching, not overpowering guys, throwing off-speed pitches for strikes and fastball counts. And we didn't really adjust there until that last inning and started putting, stringing some hits together. So, sometimes you got to tip your hat to the team, and they did a great job.
What'd you think of the last hit? There were some fly balls that obviously didn't go very far. It kind of, I don't know if it died with the wind, but what'd you think of the last hit? Did you think it was going?
There's always a chance. At our ballpark, I've seen a lot of balls to left field that carry. If it was a day game and the wind's blowing, that's probably a home run. It's a little bit of a thick air there at the end of the game and a little humidity, and it didn't carry, but not by much. So.
Third inning, you choose to intentionally walk Carson Finney and elect to face Johnson. What was the kind of mindset, or was that something you had planned going into this game when you had?
Yeah, going in, we prepare. You got to prepare for situations like that. You can't make that decision on the fly in the moment, because you're going to make mistakes there. And so you prepare ahead of time, and sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong. Finney's the guy that's hitting in the high 400s with runners in scoring position. Johnson was like 270, I want to say. You can argue the right or the left, but Tenney's hitting a little over 100 points better against right-handers, so a little bit of a mixed matchup there. And he's their big damage guy, So that's going in. We weren't going to let him beat us, so we took our chance, and Johnson beat us.
Speaking of Torres, after the catch you pulled him, is there any concern right there right now, or just?
We'll see tomorrow what the lineup looks like.
Did it have to do with this at bat, not running it out?
We'll see what the lineup looks like tomorrow.
JD?
What did you think of Hugus' last start of the regular season? I know 7 innings. He hasn't really got to that much this year, but it looked like he had a nice outing besides the home run he gave up.
It's the life of a Friday night starter in the ACC, man. There's a lot of good pitchers on the other side, and that's why it takes a special makeup personality to be that Friday night guy, because sometimes you're at your best and you get nothing to show for it, and sometimes in the best case you get a no decision. In his case, it's a tough loss there. He pitched great, except one pitch, and can't even argue with the pitch. They could put a great swing on a pitch up and out over the plate and drove it the other way. He hasn't hit many balls the other way, so it's just one of those things that he made an okay pitch. He put a better swing on it and hit her one in that instance.
What did you like out of your bullpen? I know that today, like you said, it was a nip and tuck, inches away, but Rob came in. He gave you one of his best innings all season, and so did Will. What did you like out of your bullpen today?
Rob's been getting better and better, so we're excited about having that left-handed arm out of the bullpen. And he's a guy that we expected a lot from this year, but he was coming off an injury, missed most of the fall, missed a little bit at the beginning of the spring where he re-aggravated the old injury. So he's starting to come around to his own, so it's exciting to know that we have a left-hander there in the bullpen that can get those tough left-handers out. And then, Will Smith came in and did his thing with, 3 up, 3 down. Both guys had 3 up, 3 downs, clean innings, and gave us a chance where we're, blooping a blast away from tying the game or maybe winning it there at the end.
Going back to your lineup, what was Rudell kind of doing that made it difficult for you guys just not to be able to get hits?
Just pitching. When a pitcher can win the hitters counts, you're going to usually be successful. And that means throwing anything other than a fastball for strikes. He did a great job throwing changeups and sliders and really anything at any count and locating. So we got a lot of weak contact in those hitters counts. They're throwing some off-speed pitches, quality off-speed pitches for strikes, and we did not do a good job of adjusting.
You've talked about all season long, 0-0. We've talked to you about mentality. Do you worry at all about this team either bouncing back because of the stakes? Now we're kind of into the season.
I mean, we're dead in the water a month and a half ago, so I'm not worried about this team dying at any point. It's we still hold our destiny in our hands. I think we come out and win tomorrow, and then tie the series up. We win Saturday, and then we're back to being okay. You know what I mean? So. But that's what a 0-0 mentality is. Can't get too high, can't get too low. You stay neutral, and I'm not worried one bit about this team when it comes to that.
And do you have an update on Derek and Todd, how they're doing?
Derek swung the bat today for the first time off a tee. Todd is a little behind as far as, I guess, any range of motion first, a full range of motion before they can move on to swinging a bat. So Derek's a little bit ahead of Todd right now. Still, we'll see. I think they're supposed to see the doctor early next week, so we'll see if they clear him or not. But look, you're talking to a guy that got national championships, robbed from him with a guy coming off of that injury in LSU in '96. So it's not like he's going to roll out of bed and okay, I'm ready to play next week. Hopefully we can play long enough where he gets his timing back and his strength back, and he can be back in the lineup at full strength.
What would that challenge be like as a manager? 'Cause these, again, you're going postseason whenever he's ready. The rust, how do you kind of weigh everything, and whenever they are essentially ready to go, how do you weigh that out, especially a guy like Derek who would hit so well?
Right now there's some guys in the lineup that aren't at their best, I guess you can say. So once he's ready, it's easier to insert him somewhere. If guys are really swinging the bat and swinging a hot bat, then it might be tougher, right? But we just got to get him ready and do anything we can. Maybe do some simulated games where he sees live pitching or standing in bullpens when guys are throwing sides, just so you can get his timing in as much as possible. So it's a tough one. That's a tough one to get someone that's injured back in the lineup there, and it could go either way.
Griffin, today was your last outing of the year. You had 7 strong innings. How would you describe your outing today?
Gritty, I guess. Good thing it's not the last outing of the year. That's why you come to Miami, is to play postseason baseball. So excited for the next season. That's going to start next week. But definitely want to go out there and give my guys a chance to win. I felt like besides one swing, I went out there and I competed. That's what I wanted to do today. So I was happy about that.
And that pitch that you threw in the 3rd inning to Johnson, was that just a good swing on it, mislocation, or what exactly happened there?
Just a good swing. You just got to tip the cap sometimes. Sometimes they're going to get you.
Griffin, what do you think of the intentional walk before that? What was your kind of approach to Davis there on the first pitch?
I mean, the situation coaches have put us in all year, especially me, has been for success. So any decision they make, I'm 100% on board with. So, I mean, the intentional walk, I want to face every batter, but they make really good decisions all year, so I'm not going to ever question them, and I'm going to go attack everybody the same way.
What kind of was working for you kind of after that? It kind of started, they didn't score after that, obviously.
Just really staying with what the coaches were doing. Just they call the pitches, I go out there, I just throw them. So just having that conviction, that confidence with everything they call it, just to go out there and do that, especially when you got a guy Tanner catching you and a good defense behind you, just working like that. I thought was working for me today.
And Griffin, I know you guys don't get the result, but for you to go 7, I know that hasn't been a number you've gotten to lately. Good for you, you feel like, as you talked about going into postseason here?
Yeah, I mean, I just go out there and do whatever they need me to do to try to give us a chance to win. So if it's 5 innings, it's 7 innings, it's whatever they let me do, I'm going to go out there and compete.
Jake, for you had the home run, but offensively, things just didn't seem to click. What did Riddell show out there just pitching against y'all?
Yeah, I mean, he threw a good game, but at the end of the day, I mean, we just weren't good enough today.
What was he doing that made it difficult, or why couldn't you guys get hits?
Just mixing his pitches well, throwing everything with strikes.
Just the momentum you guys have been building, Jake, with the wins and now it's 4 losses. Just what do you kind of say? What do you kind of think about where you guys are at, kind of big picture wise, with a couple games left here?
I mean, all year long we've had a short mindset. Early on we lost games, and we're just on to tomorrow now. I mean, nothing we can do about today.
Did you have a good view on the last play there? What do you think? The hit up by Renzo. What do you think?
I just saw he made the catch, and that was it.
Did you think it was going, or did you think you guys had? What did you think when it hit?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was hoping it would go.
Take us through the at bat that you hit the home run.
It was first pitch. Just got the barrel out and hit it.